Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we are chatting with the Honorable Brian Manning, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, about property tax. Good morning to you, Minister Manning.
Good morning. Good morning to you guys. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas season.
Certainly did, and I hope you did as well. Now, I want to get into this topic quickly because everybody's been talking about the property tax. Everybody has their concerns, they have their opinions, but I think we should clear up some facts this morning. Firstly, tell me about the valuation process to be able to determine what property tax that you're paying or you're supposed to be paying.
Yes, I think most of Trinidad and Tobago would have received by now a document that outlines your annual rental value. Now, what we've been saying from the very beginning is that your annual rental value is not what you'll be paying in property taxes. How you calculate your property taxes from your annual rental value is that you multiply by 0.9, then multiply by 0.03, and then if you want to get your monthly payment, you divide that number by 12, and that will give you your monthly property tax payment. So I think that clears up a lot. The one big misconception that's out there, that the annual rental value is not what you're paying in property taxes. It's a number that you can use to calculate what your monthly or annual property tax payment will be.
Okay, so you use this number to be able to determine what the payment will be. But if you receive more than one notice for the same property, what do you do in that case?
There's information on there as to where you can contest any part of the process that you like. You can either call, email, or reach out to the valuation office. You can let them know exactly what happened, and then they will assist you from there.
And is it the same process if it is that you didn't receive, if you submitted a notice of valuation but you didn't receive any of the confirmations or anything like that, you can do that same thing and go through the information?
Yeah. Yes, eventually you should receive that document, but you could always reach out to the Commissioner of Valuation office, and they will assist you.
And if I have to file an objection, what would be the time frame that I have to do it in?
I'm not certain of the time frame, but definitely the process is the same when anyone can file an objection. You could also file for an exemption if you believe that you're living on a fixed income or you are unemployed for an extended period of time and decide that the property tax would be too onerous for you for whatever reason. There's an exemption process also that you can file, and it will be something that is considered.
What qualifies you for this exemption?
Well, as I said, someone living on a fixed income, someone who may be going through severe financial hardship for an extended period of time. Situations can be different, and they will all be individually evaluated by an independent board of persons who will decide, whether an exemption is allowed or not, depending on your situation.
Okay, and can somebody object on my behalf?
No, you have to object on your own behalf.
Okay, so in a situation where it is like an elderly person who may be the owner of the home, but they may not be controlling the property, for example, they have to come in and still do the objection on their own behalf.
Well, that becomes a legal issue. You may have to have power of attorney, but you must have some sort of locus standi in the issue to do that on someone else's behalf.
Okay. And if I object or the objection is in progress and you're doing the considerations and all that and taking the time, do I still have to pay property tax while that's happening, or does it exempt me from paying until that's sorted out?
It would have to be considered, and it depends on your situation. But we try to, any sort of objection, we try to deal with that as quickly as possible. So you should know within a short period of time exactly what will be your property tax payment or what the decision is concerning whether you should pay now or what you should pay at all. So the process is there and it's ready to go.
All right, nice. Now, some people have been saying that, they see things like, all right, my house and Ayanka's house might be the same size, but in two different locations. What are some of the factors that determine what the valuation on the property tax is exactly?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too complex into the entire thing, but there are three ways to value a property, right? There's the cost method, there's the comparison method, and the income method. We have chosen here the income method. That's why we look at the annual rental value, because that says, the proposed or supposed income revenue that your home could possibly generate. Now, why would you use that? because the income that your home can generate encompasses every factor that gives your home value, which includes geographical location, it includes number of bedrooms, whether it has a water feature. That number would include all of those things. The other two methods are extremely onerous and difficult. Like the cost method, you would have to add up every item in your home that would give your home value. That's every tile, every door, every countertop, every light fixture, everything that gives your home value. You have to find the market value of that item and then add it up to come up with a valuation for your property. That, of course, is extremely onerous and ridiculous. The other one is the comparison method, where you would have to find a home similar to yours, almost exactly like yours, in a similar neighborhood or in your neighborhood that has recently been sold, and then use that number to make adjustments to your home for any differences to come up with a valuation for your property. Now, you can see how complicated that would be.
Yeah.
That would be extremely difficult to value thousands of properties across Trinidad and Tobago using that onerous comparison method. And that's why the income method, which uses the annual rental value, was the one that was decided because it is maybe the easiest one to value thousands of properties and the easiest one for people to understand. And it encompasses every factor, every characteristic that gives your home value. And that's why that method was chosen.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for explaining that. Now, in one of these situations where we have the value that your house can possibly bring in, let's say, for example, there's a house in, I don't know, the Woodbrook area that would be high value because of a location, geographic location and neighborhood and all that good stuff, right? But it's one of the older houses that is it's a single pensioner living in the house, for example.
Yes.
Does that take into consider? Is that considered at all when it comes to what the tax would end up being? Because the value of the property would be one thing, but what the person is possibly able to pay would be a different thing.
Yes, I mean that's why you use the annual rental value. If you're living in a much older home in an area, and the house right next door to you is some modern plush mansion, with water feature and ACs in every room and a covered carport for 4 cars, clearly the rental value that you can ask would be completely different. Also, if someone is living on a fixed income like a pensioner and would find things difficult in terms of paying this property tax every month, they can apply for an exemption, and they would be considered to not have to pay the property tax at all. So that is something that I hope Trinidad and Tobago can recognize and understand and appreciate, that if you believe that the property tax valuation that you have received is too much for you to pay, you are free to file for an exemption. That option is there.
Nice. And do you consider anybody else besides pensioners as fixed income earners?
It could be anyone. I mean, if you're working on a minimum wage and things are difficult, or you have an extended period of unemployment, and the tax maybe, and you can prove that this tax monthly payment or annual payment would be too much for you, you can apply and it will be considered.
Okay, and is there, I heard you mention paying it monthly. Is there an option to pay it monthly, quarterly, or annually, or does it have to be monthly?
I believe that's something that's still being worked out. I don't have a final word on that, but it's something that will be announced going forward.
All right, fantastic. Now, are there any things in place to protect the most vulnerable of us in society?
Yes, there's an exemption if you believe that you can't pay, and there is you can query the actual annual rental value that you have received. There are also programs with social development where you can apply for state assistance, whether it's a monthly payment, whether it's a food card. We have a host of social programs designed to assist the most vulnerable amongst us.
All right. I want to do some math with you real quick, Minister, if you don't mind. Can you give me the equation you said again? That would be how you work out the monthly payment?
It's your annual rental value, ARV. That would be on the evaluation form that you would have received, multiplied by 0.9, then you multiply by 0.03. And then to get the monthly payment, you divide all of that by 12.
And you can divide all of that by 12 to get the monthly payments, right?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So in terms of our annual rental, can you give me an estimate of what a value of a house would be? We mentioned Woodbrook before. So let's stick to Woodbrook. The annual rental value of a house in Woodbrook would be approximately how much?
In Woodbrook, I can tell you about San Fernando East.
All right, tell me about that. That's perfect.
In Woodbrook.
Give me San Fernando East. That's perfect. Give me Gulf City.
Right.
That's San Fernando East or West?
San Fernando West, close though. So let's say, the annual rental value in San Fernando East is somewhere around $2,000 monthly.
Okay.
So we have $2,000. And then, so you multiply that by 12.
Right, so we have 24,000.
24,000. That would be your annual rental value. That's how much money you would generate from renting your property for 12 months. Okay? So you multiply that number.
Wait, Minister. You tell him which part this house is renting for $2,000 a month.
Let me know. So are you from San Fernando East?
No. But I'm about to move to San Fernando East if that's the rent.
Well, the people that I see on a regular basis who come to me for assistance, they will say, exactly what rent that they are paying. So
all right, no problem.
I'm using that strata of society. Right?
All right, so you're working with $2,000 a month.
Yeah, right. Because they're the ones that would be, maybe possibly more disproportionately affected by the tax than say someone in an upper income bracket. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So your annual rental value in that case would be $24,000, right?
Right. Multiply that by 0.9. You get 21,600.
21,600.
Right.
You multiply that by 0.03. What do you
648.
get? 648. That is your annual property tax payment, $648. And now to find your monthly payment, you divide that by 12.
Which is $54.
And that comes up to $54 monthly.
Okay. So that's an easy way to break it down so that people get a clear understanding. So if the annual rental value of your property is $2,000 a month, you would end up paying $54 a month in property tax. That would seem too bad. That would seem too unfair.
Some people got scared when they saw the annual rental value and the valuation form, but that is not what you're going to be paying in taxes. This is one of the lowest property tax rates in the hemisphere. And it was intentionally done that way so that it would not be onerous to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We know people have had over a decade for not paying property taxes, but we wanted to be able to gently reintroduce this residential tax rate. And then eventually we're going to also have a tax rate for agricultural and commercial properties also being included. So we intentionally kept this property tax rate low so that it would be, a gentle reintroduction of this property tax rate to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister, two things. One, are there plans to increase it as we go forward, or are we going to maintain this rate as we go forward? And secondly, can you just remind us the purpose of the property tax?
Yes, I cannot say that there would be any kind of significant increase in the property tax rate in the foreseeable future. This rate should be the way it is, held stable at this point for, as I can see, for quite a few years going forward, to my knowledge. The main reason for the property tax reintroduction is to underpin local government reform. The funding is going to be used to finance delivery of local government goods and services within every municipal body within Trinidad and Tobago. And when I say local government goods and services, I mean trash collection, road repair, drainage, sewage, cutting of grass, every single thing that your regional municipal body or corporation or whatever it is delivers to your community. The fixing of schools, playgrounds, all of those things are covered by these municipal bodies. You have municipal police, all of that. So that's really what the taxes are for. And the main reason for it is that property owners are the ones who benefit the most from these municipal goods and services. If you own a home, you could not enjoy the use of that home if the city corporation did not do its job. If they didn't spray for mosquitoes in many parts of Trinidad and Tobago, you couldn't live there comfortably. You see? So you benefit the most from it. And that's the main reason why the property taxes are used to generate these revenues, to underpin the services being delivered by municipal corporations across Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much, Minister Manning. One quick question before you go. People who are living in HGC houses, for example, would they be responsible for paying any sort of property tax? Just to clarify.
If you are the homeowner, you would have to pay property taxes.
Right. If you're renting, you don't have to worry about paying property tax.
No, not for the most part. The homeowner would have to pay.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Minister, and for sharing and clarifying a lot of information and misconceptions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best, Trinidad and Tobago. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas holiday season, and I wish you all the best for 2024. All the best. Take care.
And same to you. Take care.